All right, here we go. Welcome everybody to a special episode of Cadillac on Mars. You know how I am out here. I love the Bruiser Brigade. I've had many of the members on here. I got one of their latest on the scene today. We're out here doing our thing. Told you before, I'm trying to be Bruiser West. I'm trying to be the official, unofficial podcast of the Bruiser Brigade. Tonight I got here a special guest, Quentin Ahmad DaGod. Man, yep. Quentin, thank you for joining me tonight.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having us. We got to get that Bruiser West going for real.
I'm telling you, like right here, right now, I'm just riding solo. So you guys need to get on tour or like send someone out here because it's just me.
We got a Black Noise out west. He out in California, so we got a little bit of Bruiser out there. We got everybody's back and forth, so we got Bruisers everywhere. So definitely, we need that.
That is true. We just got it's got to be sort of like we got to make this like the Juggalos because they represent hard. You know what I mean? So.
And that's exactly what it is. And I think that's what, the level of Bruiser Thanksgiving, not to jump everywhere, but when I seen that, is people coming from everywhere. Mm-hmm. We just got to continue to grow that snowball, and it'll be like that. But definitely need that.
I mean, because we could even talk about that Bruiser Thanksgiving too. Like for me, having followed, starting with like most introduction to like Bruiser Brigade is like through Danny Brown.
Right.
And seeing the Bruiser Thanksgiving and seeing like what it's become and just how the roster is growing, but also becoming more internal, like highlighting the artists. It's like, damn, I want to be out there, but also being like a husband and a dad. It's real hard to be like, hey, I'm going to leave on Thanksgiving. I'm about to get murdered.
And we understand that, but definitely. And it is a tradition. Like you said, a lot of people follow it throughout the times. And like I said, it was an honor to step on stage on 8 and kick the album, kick some joints off the album, be up there with my brothers and then just, take it in from the other side, not just as a guest, but like, being able to, perform and experience the whole experience, the whole event. It was just beautiful.
It's got to be magical because it's like you have the city coming to represent, to appreciate the artists from within. And that's a completely different feeling when it's not just, you're not on tour and some nights are hot and some nights are whack. It's like, this is a one-shot deal. And people come out. And so when I see like videos posted from it, I'm just like, damn, this shit is ill. So I did tell my wife, I was like, I might be flying out and then immediately flying back. Like just doing like a quick 24 real quick.
It's really like, it's the day before. So, it all works out, but
I might make it happen.
You might as well bring the wife, you know what I mean? Yeah. She comes with us, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Make this a family event.
And that's what it is with us. It's like, we really like big on that. And, that's what I love. So, definitely, support, be a part of an experience. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
take
definitely.
It all in.
Now, hearing you talk about like, being on the opposite side, hitting on the stage, it kind of makes me think about like, as I see you, developing your style, dropping your album and learning about you through like the features you've been on.
Right.
Like, what's it like for you right now? Like as a developing artist, you're establishing yourself, but it's like, shit is whack right now, like trying to develop a career where it's like live shows, they happened and they get canceled, then they're like rescheduled. Like, how's that like for you right now, trying to, get on your feet and establish yourself in a time like this?
Well, I like to say, thank you to the people who support, whether it's, by, donating towards the music or supporting each of us on like our many ventures on our albums, as far as like, merch and stuff like that. But right now it's just building the core people who appreciate my art. And when the time permits it and when everything, whatever the word normal mean, but when it goes back to quote unquote normal, then it'll go there. But we have done some shows, here and there and stuff like that. But, basically what I'm trying to say, long term, that's definitely to go get back fully rolling. And, that's why you build with the people who genuinely support with you. And, I try to communicate with as many people who like just say, hey, I love the music or whatever it is, because to me, that means more than, you know, anything else. If you know, if an artist I really fuck with says something back and whatever, because, you know, a lot of people, you know, just whatever, you know, but that's what it is for me. And that's just building the people who feel like I feel and, you know, believe in what I believe in and shit, you know, enjoy the music. So
And
that's how you.
I think you're touching on something that's like really, really valid, is that like, I think right now, like music has kind of gone back to like, yeah, we have the big artists, we have the big pop stars who you got your Katy Perry's, they're going to be what they're going to be. They're a machine. But I really feel like in a lot of ways, it's gone back to like grassroots. You know what I mean? Like how you said, you're establishing a fan base like by connecting with your people.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're investing in each other. It's like, oh shit, man, you know, you like the post, or, you know, you're retweeting something, or you're commenting back, and it's like, oh shit, this is tight. Whereas like, I feel like for so long artists have been separate, you know, like almost like the artist wasn't like supposed to comment back. It's like, we got to keep a barrier.
No, definitely. And I think that's kind of whack, you know, like there's a such thing as space and respect, of course, you know, I get that, but you know, just to, you know, it's impossible to do it for everybody. Don't get me wrong. But when you see that and you get an opportunity to say, yo, I appreciate it, or you know, send a DM, yo, I appreciate the support, you know, look out for this or whatever, you know, that means a lot to some people. And it's a lot of other shit you can do with your time, you know, and, you know, listening to Quentin Ahmad DaGod is like, you know, it's important to me, but it don't have to be important to another motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get it at all times. So I'm always receptive and you know, appreciative of, you know, people showing they love and, you know, building rapport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Because it's like I mean, it's kind of like, think about it on my end, you know, doing the podcasting, and a lot of times it feels like just pissing in the wind, you know, where it's like, is anyone out there? I mean, I see the listens, I see the downloads. I'm like, okay, there's people, but it's when the few kind of interact and are like, hey, I like this, or I'm glad you asked. Like, I got a message recently from somebody who was very hyped on the fact that I had been highlighting the Bruiser Brigade. And he's like, man, this is tight. He's like, I would have not, he's the dude out in Miami. And he's like, I would have not known about these guys. And so he was just like learning about JUS, learning about Bruiser Wolf. And I was like, dude, if you're hyped, just give it a couple weeks. I got another one coming. And he was like, this is awesome. And so it's just getting someone to come back, you know?
That's that feedback. Sometimes, so you say you know, you deal with, you know, what you told me your work wise, and I understand, like, you know, just that feedback. You see how feedback goes a long way for people, as, you know, young, old. We all appreciate that, and you know, it's a thin line between letting it fuel you. You know what I mean? But it's a thin line between that. You gotta, you know, figure out when and when not, but. You know, that feedback, and just you know, somebody telling you that they appreciate what you're doing. You could be just laying down watching fucking Ozark. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It could be something totally. So definitely appreciate it, and that's what it's about. And we, like I said, you know, we nothing without people who really fuck with our music. Like, if you think about it, you know, we nothing without them. So how can you shit on them? So I can never, you know, shit on my supporters or people who are like-minded, you know, people like me who fuck with the music. Yeah. So
yeah, like I was saying, I think you guys are blazing the right trail right now, because when the shows start happening, when the tours start kicking in, like, you're gonna have fans. Like, that's just gonna be wild, because it's like, I don't know how many times, I'll say this, since, like, who came out first? Was it was it JUS? Yeah, Goku Jay-Z. Okay.
Yep.
So since then, and I shit you not, this is not hyperbole, this is not exaggeration, I listen to one of those Bruiser Brigade albums every day, because each one of you is a different vibe, you know? And so it's just like nonstop. So it's like, I know that when I see you guys on a tour, I'm gonna be that fool up in front knowing all the lyrics. Like I'm saying, you guys need a hype man. I got you. Like, I'm here.
I need one, so I got you. As long as you get that. But listen, so it's crazy you say that, because it's hard. Like, when I'm in creative mode, I really don't like to listen to like other rappers and stuff like that. I listen to more so R&B. But you know, when I was in my creative stages, and you know, even to this day, I often listen to each album and hear different. Like it's like different zones or different like chambers, like they say with the Wu. You know what I'm saying? It's like the different chambers. Like everybody have a different style. Like, and I love that shit about us, and that's what makes it so unique because it's like it's a collective of you know of artists. You know what I'm saying? And we all combine to make one puzzle, and the puzzle is just like imagine a puzzle that say Bruiser Brigade. You know what I mean? It's just like all the puzzle pieces fit together. You know,
and it's not complete without the other.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not. It's like, you know. So with that being said, it's just like that's the beauty of you know having, you know, a collective of talented artists that ain't just. And when you put out a lot of shit, you can off the quality of it can go down, but the quality stay top tier. And that's what I'm proud of person with, you know what I mean?
Now let's talk a little bit about like I'm always very fascinated in like the creative process. Like, you know, how are you putting pen to paper or putting it in your phone? Like, what do you have to do? Because I heard you say like, you know, you kind of don't listen to other stuff to kind of get the influence. Like, how do you do it?
Well, it just depends on the vibe I'm in. Like sometimes I want to write with my headphones in and write on a pen and pad, conventionally, you know, write on the pen and pad. Other times I could just, basically just write off my phone and listen to it off the monitors and shit like that. But it just depends on what zone I'm in. If it's some shit that's like, I really, you know, I'm just step to the side, get out of the everybody way, find somewhere real cold, frigid, and you know, usually a basement or some shit, and just get the writing and just, you know, to myself so I can say it out loud, you know, just, you know. But other than that's just writing, that's how I am. But as far as you know, you usually like just different parts of the day. You drive here, you go there, and I listen to the beat and just, you know, think of different things and shit like that. And you know, eventually when I go sit down, I just put everything in my thoughts together. And I've been lately using voice recorder just to remember my words.
Just throw it in real quick.
Yeah, just throw it in real quick. Just remember how I was saying it, the tone of how I was saying it, or more so the rhythm or the bop you say, or how you said the shit, and just put it there. And that's pretty much how I create. You know what I mean? I'm really one of those guys. I have like a little, like I said, a little personal workspace, you know, where I create demos at, and you know, I can go to the big studio and knock everything out like that. You know, it's a beauty of having too. So it's just whatever the vibe is, you know.
Now, how did you like start like realizing like, and how long has it been that you realize like, oh shit, I could do this. Like I got talent. Because every young person is like, I can rap. Like I think I was telling JUS last time, my son, we were out for a walk and he's like, I think I'm gonna be a rapper. And I was like, you're whack. But you know, like I mean, he tried. He had a little something in there. There's a little magic in there. So I was like, maybe we'll cultivate this. But it's like, what was it for you where you were like, oh fuck, I think I'm better than people?
Well, everybody, like you said, everybody think they can rap. But what it was is honestly that made me really know I could rap is honestly maybe like at school lunches and shit like that when you used to bang on the table and used to people like that. And then, but like in my adulthood, I mean, I just kept that confidence from when I found out at them around them times, and you know, the people around you, you know, like not just your friends, but your peers and people who you come across in this journey in music, they respect it. Like, oh no, he nice, or he good. You know what I mean? He nice. But it's, you know, you gotta always continue to prove yourself. So it's like, you know, that hunger at the same time and just want to just be the best. Cause it's always somebody coming with some cool lines or some shit. And, you know, it's almost like you just gotta continue to be a swordsman, you know, sharpen your sword, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's like any skill takes practice. Like you'd be hard pressed to find anyone who's a master at something who didn't put like all the fucking hours in there.
Exactly,
you know?
Exactly.
They make it look easy where you're just like, damn, that guy's effortless. But then you realize like, oh no, but you do this every fucking day. Hours on hours.
even when you don't want to do it. And that's
Right.
even times where it's like, damn, today I just want to, sit back today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just kick the feet up, man. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But nah, that's what separates the people who dream about it, and then the people who actually get to live those thoughts or dreams out. You know what I mean? And I always have in my mind to like never be the guy. I just, who doesn't want, to be successful in whatever they put their heart and mind into. So I just want to be successful and just, put as much as I can. And sometimes it's tough, like I said, sometimes it's tough, but you just gotta keep pushing through it.
And that's a complete truth, because it's like not every day is beautiful. Not every day is the easiest, but it's like if you're committed, if you really, well, number one, you gotta believe in yourself. Like
exactly.
that's just like a straight up fact, because there's gonna be days where someone's gonna tell you you're like super whack, and you're gonna just be like, you might be like, you know what, that shit just sucked. But let me come back. Let me work a little harder. Let me get a little better. Like you said, you're sharpening your sword on this, like just improving your skill set. So it's like you got to commit. So to anyone listening, like, whatever it is you're doing, if you are thinking about rapping, or if you're just like, man, I want to design, I want to create, I want to be a carpenter, whatever the fuck it is you want to do, like stick
go
to
for
it, grind on it hard, be the best at it
that you can be.
Yeah, definitely.
I 100% agree with that. Definitely. And invest just not, whether it's time, money, whatever it is that you believe in, invest into it. And, you should see, you 9 times out of 10, you'll see results out of it. Because you can invest some bullshit into it too, but invest the right things, and, you should get some stuff out of it, for real.
No, definitely. Now, I want to tap into something that you had mentioned a little bit ago. And that's to me is like your lyrical flow. I find it like super fascinating.
Thank you.
Because you said this is what you said. You go, you step outside and it might be cold, it might be frigid, and it's funny because when I imagine you rapping, I imagine you rapping like fucking Bubble Jacket, Scully outside, like in the snow, just like going hard. And I feel like your tone's got a very like it's got a real New York vibe to it. Like I hear a little Flatbush Zombies in there, where I'm just like, this dude's fucking different. Like this is a different gig, So like, how did you develop your voice?
Well, personally, my life, who I am as a person, I was blessed. I'm a mixed breed, what you call a mixed breed. I was blessed. I was born in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, and moved to upstate New York when I was a kid. And then been back and forth, throughout the years. But I'm a mixed breed, so you know what I'm saying? So I guess that's why I would sound like this. But just even influenced music-wise, and all DMX, one of my favorite MCs of all time. Just people like, who we all listen to, either West Coast or East Coast. East Coast music. And, I would say my style in general is gumbo, because I feel like I'm all of that, because I didn't have a house where we were solely one thing and not the other. We were all music type of house, whether it's R&B, whether it's East Coast rap, West Coast rap, down south, before it was quote unquote cool to be down south music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I came up on that. So I like to say, if I could say so myself, my style is gumbo. My voice is actually, I like to give credit to a person. I call him my brother because he damn near like my brother. We was raised together. But he basically, we rhymed together when we was young. And I used to try to rhyme like him. And he used to be like, bro, that's not you. Like, you just, like, you got the pain in your voice. I hear it. Just let it go.
Yeah.
And then I just let the pain go. And then that's just how I go. And then that's just how, how I rhyme. I can't really.
And I think it really comes through. Like it genuinely does, because it's like, it's an authentic tone. Like it's real, you know what I mean? And so like, I can hear what you're saying. And I also do think that, you use, like analyzing it like in my head, like thinking where it's coming from. Like, as you said, like, oh, I hear the DMX in there, like coming from the throat. It's like, it's raw, but then I also hear like you use a different voice where it is coming, like it's the bass in the chest, like, and then there's the one, and I am terrible at the at the like track titles because I'm
Oh,
always listening through and through, but it's one of the last few that's it's different from the whole fucking album. It's like very jazzy background, and
yeah,
it's almost like you I don't
yeah.
consider it a rap. It's more of a spoken word poem,
Yep.
like it's way different.
Yep. You talking about the Killer Just, and that's the name of, that's my older cousin name.
Okay.
That's his, shout out to Killer Just. But that's the album. I mean, that's the name of the song on the album, Killer Just, where it's just like sounds like
Yeah.
some jazz and some people.
Yeah.
What they doing, the swing and shit, doing,
Exactly. Yeah. It's a different vibe. It's way different. Whereas like all the other tracks, I feel like this album makes me like want to do bad shit. Like I want to get in the whip, drive fast, maybe be half drunk. Kids don't drive drunk, but I'm just saying, like,
I get you. Yeah, we don't condone it, but I know what you mean.
But then there's other.
And not to cut you off, but that was pretty much the goal. I'm talking shit.
Hey, well, you know what? Mission accomplished. You did it.
Right. Yeah. Shout out Rafi. We did it. Yeah. But yeah, no, honestly.
Yeah, and so it's like there's moments like that, but then there's these odd curveballs like the one you just mentioned where it's like, oh, this is different. And then because you talked about like the pain in the voice, and that track has that too. It's very emotional, like in a different way, where it's like this isn't someone moving a crowd and like hands in the air type of shit. This is like that sort of bearing a soul. I'm still up in front of people, but it's like, I need you to hear my message. I need you to hear what I'm saying.
And just and that's it. And like I said, on a song where Wolf and I said, "This the easel, I'm the art." Like the background, the songs, the beats are instrumental. I like to say is the easel for me, and my lyrics and my voice and who I am is the art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm trying, that's what I was trying to get across, just to give like a person, like give a idea of who I am. Just basically just saying like, this is what it is. I know it was a lot of shit. You got to understand. We got some all-stars, the Monstars on the team. And from Wolf, Z, JUS, everybody, everybody is Monstars. And, I'm a monster in my own right. It's just we all have different vibes, and this was just like, this is who I am. You know what I mean? Just take. It was just a hard left from what we just got from Z at what was it, a couple months prior to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just a hard left, and it's just basically this the easel. I'm not art, man. This is my art. This is how I feel. This is who I am. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And like I said, and I'll continue as I grow as an artist, I'm continue to put more personality and more of who I am. Not to say I limited it at all, but you got to still save some for the growth and shit like that. But yeah, I think I did a great job with just bringing people into the world of Quentin Ahmad DaGod. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think you definitely did, because the tracks tell a story.
Yeah.
I think, and this goes for all of you guys as like a crew of artists, they're very humble albums. Like it's, yes, you do have to have some ego to be up in front and share, and but it's like, but it's not vanity rap. You know what I mean? It's not popping bottles and chains and shit. It's like, nah, this is like what I had to go through. This is what I'm experiencing, or these are like the fruits of my labor. Like I'm enjoying shit because I'm making money now. It's that type of thing. But it's like,
exactly.
But it's about the hustle, and like that's an awesome thing that you guys all bring. And then even with that, like I'm glad you kind of touched on this. Is like, I'm looking forward to what you like. I appreciate this project, and I'm really hyped about the projects I don't know about, the things you guys are working on, because it's like, I think there's still a lot more story to tell. There's still a lot more voice to develop. There's still there's a lot to give. It's like, hey, this is, in all of you guys, I don't think we've even touched chapter 1. We're just reading the intro. Like, hey, this is who I am. You better be ready, because we're gonna go for a ride.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. And everybody, minus, well, we did get a second JUS album, at the top. But besides Fat Ray and Z, well, you didn't really get projects. You didn't, where everybody know you, you didn't get a project of Bruiser Wolf. Where everybody know you, you didn't get a project of Quentin Ahmad DaGod. You probably could find something locally, but you know what I mean? So like, I think that everybody did a great job of taking the listeners into their world. And that's what I like. Even if you start, however you listen to the albums, I personally like to listen to them in the date they were released personally. But like, however you listen to the albums, you just notice it's like, all right, this is everybody's intro. And I think even with Z, that was a reintroduction of who he was and who he grown to from the older albums and the older projects. But
I would fully agree with you, because that album is a different evolution. It's almost like, whereas I feel like those were independent albums,
right?
And I mean him as an independent person, but then now being under like the Bruiser Brigade moniker was like, okay, this is how I elevate the clique. Like this is like I'm the puzzle piece, like how you mentioned earlier. So I got to do my part to connect it. And I would agree with you too. Listen. It's like the fucking Marvel movies. Like you can watch them separately. Yeah, you want the deal, like listen to them in a specific order, because it really is like JUS finishes his album, it goes to Fat Ray's album, it goes to, it's you guys keep handing that baton. And so it's just like, it's a beautiful thing. And then like, I know I mentioned to like JUS as well, and you kind of said this earlier, which is like, you guys are like a Woo, not being Woo, like I'm not trying to compare, but it's the fact that like independently you guys are ill, and then when you hit an album like TV62 and you guys are like all over the place on the different tracks, I was like, oh, I'm not ready, but it was when everyone came together, I was like, fuck, this is some Voltron shit, like this is some like everyone joined forces.
And it was dope because if you pay attention, like if you really was one of the ones that started on the journey with us from the beginning of the of what we call the assault on niggas, we basically I was in the brown the brown noise video, and that was like this first little sprinkle of Quentin Ahmad DaGod. It's like the Marvel movies where you see the little clues to certain shit in there, and and then the various little, the features and shit like that. And, how it was rolling out. If you knew better, you knew that it was coming at some point.
And that's a factual truth, because if you followed the features or you followed the bits, it was like, oh, this motherfucker's coming up next. I know this was coming up next. I mean, and so it's just like, when you hear those things, it's like, damn, you guys got something for me. Because I know when I had Rafi on, we're just talking about, because let me tell you this, I'd be straight up, like, I know Skywlkr from like, seeing him do shit with Danny Brown. And then we just started playing video games together, And then I met Rafi through him because we were just like playing like fucking GTA and shit. And so it's like, it was very off place from music. Yeah. But then when we started when the album started popping, and I was like, fucking, and I do like Rafi's music a lot. Like when he was just putting out instrumentals, because I was like, these instrumentals are wild. Like they're all over the fucking place. Yeah. And when he was like, just wait. And he said on there, I think he mentioned you, he mentioned Bruiser Wolf, and he mentioned the TV62. He's like, we got shit coming. So he kind of he put me on a little taste. So when shit started hitting, I was like how you said, it was an assault. Like you guys were not fucking around. It was just like, we're gonna hit you like full force. We got stuff coming. So you ain't lying.
Yeah, we're not stopping, but we definitely like, man, just to circle back around to just like just the clues and shit. So it's a beautiful thing to see how from behind the scenes, and just see how the reception is people who enjoy it. And like I said, we really appreciate that shit. And it wouldn't be nothing without the people who listen to it and make those songs popular, and make those songs, where people want to write about it naturally and not get paid to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's
exactly
just beautiful, man. So Because like I said, man, you could be doing something totally different, man. I'm pretty sure some good food on the table right now, all type of shit. But
right, exactly.
I appreciate you listening and fucking with me, and I can see you actually like it. You actually fuck with it. So that's why. That's what it's all.
And for me, it's like getting guests on and like special guests like yourself. It's for me, people that I appreciate, people that I feel like, man, I fuck with this. So I think listeners, you guys should fuck with this too. And so it's like I've had like DJs on, different people and stuff like that, different walks, because I'm just like, hey, someone needs to know, and if I can help in some way to kind of, get some widen the signal, to be like, people listen up, like, let's do it,
I got this saying that I think makes the most sense, but you can tell me. If Apple was giving away free phones, but they never put it out, how could you capitalize on it?
Right.
So just like imagine Apple giving away a million free phones, but there's no promotion on it. But everybody has an iPhone.
Yeah.
Everybody wants an iPhone at least, you know what I'm saying, for that matter. And it's the most updated, the newest one, whatever you want to say. But if you have no knowledge that it's out, how can you capitalize on it? So we need people, your people like you with your voice and your taste of music to, to put a voice out there so people don't, like you said, the gentleman in Miami, the guy in Miami, he didn't never know. He never knew about Quentin Ahmad or Bruiser Wolf or JUS. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's important, man. And I guarantee the guy, shout out to him. I don't know if you remember his name, but shout out to him. I guarantee you there's somebody who's going to go on this journey with us and be like, shit, I remember when, XYZ, so that's what it's about.
And along those lines too, like for me, like whether it's a new song or an old song, like I always struggle when someone says like, what's your favorite song? And I'm like, I think my favorite song is still the song I haven't heard yet.
Right.
That shit is limitless. And so every time something new drops, I'm like, that's my favorite song today.
Yeah.
And then the next, that's my favorite song today.
Not to cut you off, but that's a beautiful way to look at it, man. That's a beautiful way to look at it, because it's like, I had a conversation with my cousin, and he was saying about one of his favorite artists. I guess they had just dropped a project. He was like, man, I don't know. It didn't do it for me. I'm like, but man, at this point, what do you expect from him? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you coming in with a tainted ear. You expected something. If you just come in with just the joy of, all right, this is the next thing. This could be my favorite song. Or this is my new favorite song. Like, just wanting to hear new music, fresh music, different ideas. Then, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's a fine line. So we appreciate that.
It really is true. Now, because we've been bouncing around the Bruiser Brigade title. Yeah. How did you get involved? Like, how did you get tapped?
Well, basically, I hate to say this, but pandemic was like crazy, but it was also like a blessing in disguise for me. Because like I've been
not to cut you off, you're not wrong for that. I say that quite often. There were like positive things that grew.
Definitely. So like I always had a relationship with JUS. Like whether it was just, being cool as like just cool. But I think we got cool as hell 2017. I've been knowing them for years, like a couple years prior to, like years before that. Mm-hmm. And we was just like, we was cool. You know how it be, you just cool. Yeah. But we got cool as hell. I ended up building a studio, like one of those high-tech studios in my crib. And I called him and I said, you know what? I never asked you for nothing. I don't want nothing from you. Just show me how to work this equipment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he like, man, you good with me? Like you ain't never asked me for nothing. And our relationship just built because, I knew he was knowledgeable and like a lot of shit. And I just wanted to, just basically, if that equipment kind of basically, it wasn't even about the equipment. Like I said, we had a rapport before then, but in my eyes, it brought us closer because I started being over there, like, every day or, he'd come over my house or at least a couple times out the week. We'd link up and shit like that, whether it's smoking, being creative. And at that time, he wasn't rapping. But at the studio, I got videos of JUS before he was a real like a real rapper, rap freestyling and shit at my house and shit, like at the studio. So, and just to fast forward, he was starting. Now let's go to when he began rapping. God Goku Jay-Z, he was you know, everybody was separated during the pandemic early, but I would call him, we were talking shit like that. And he like, yeah, I'm at the studio. I'm, you know, I'm working on an album or whatever. Cause Black Noise had just dropped Oblivion. And you know, he said he got inspired. So he was telling me on the phone, like, yeah, man, I'm working on this album. I got excited as hell because I was one of the ones who was privy to hear those freestyles of him at my crib and shit like that. So I was excited. So he was like, yeah, come to the studio. Now, I knew a couple original members of Bruiser Brigade. Like I knew them just.
Are you back in?
Yeah, there we go.
Damn,
yeah, I apologize.
We were conversing too. I was like, shit. You had me right at the story. I was like, no, fucking froze.
Yeah, no, man. Technology be on some bullshit sometimes.
It is what it is. You know, it happens. It happens. Yeah. So here's what we'll do. No worries. I can edit it, splice it. We'll be clean.
Okay.
And then just, I want you to finish up the story about like, you know, getting tapped in.
Okay.
And then I'll hit you with a couple more questions. And then we'll start to wrap it up. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Cool with me.
So yeah, pick up. You were telling me.
So basically, so Brown, well, JUS was doing God Goku Jay-Z, and he basically said like he wanted to make sure I was on a song before you release it, and I was like hell yeah. So I ended up coming, and we did the PPP, and I came back over, you know, just to kick it and shit. And at this time, Brown was like, listen to him. I was like, who is that? He was like, that's him. He was like, oh, you nice. And so as time went by, I just was coming by every now and then and shit, like just, you know, showing my face every now and then. Then like one of the times I came over and every now and then, Brown was like, yo, just start making sure you come over more. I'm like, all right, cool. I kind of felt better because I got like the blessing from him.
Yeah, you're getting the nod, like
yeah. And then so you know, and throughout that time developing relationships, and like I guess I was chosen. When I was chosen, basically Brown was like, shit, you know, I fuck with you, you know, basically you got a family, that's my family now. So basically,
yeah,
you know what I mean? That was just, it came from the horse's mouth. So that's pretty much how it happened. But my relationship with JUS, just him knowing I'm nice MC and then having a good rapport with me just outside of music and shit. He had his album, you know, he wanted me a part of it. So I can't thank him enough for just knowing, you know, just calling me saying, hey, I can't have this out here without you on it. And that meant a lot to me too. Yeah. But that just, you know, basically opened the door for somebody else to take a liking to me. You know what I'm saying?
And those are those like magical moments. If you wouldn't have gotten that, like, hey man, come through real quick. I just want you to put something on this real quick. Like, if that hadn't happened, we wouldn't be here. You know, I wouldn't be listening to the album. So to have these things happen to then lead on further and further to a whole album. I mean, that's super awesome. And then to be welcomed into the fold of not just like, oh, this is just me and my homie, but actually like into a crew.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, shit, okay, this is bigger, you know?
Yep. And like I said, I knew Sky prior. I knew Rafi before Rafi became this big producer. You know, I seen him years ago. Like everybody in the brigade kind of was like, you know, we all started as like just affiliates or however, just like a little weird shit. Like I don't know if you ever heard the story how Rafi and Skywlkr met, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like everything in our universe has happened for a reason, like to connect different dots in our universe that were all our, you know, it all ties together, you know what I'm saying? Our success basically almost tied together. So
it's like the universe genuinely pulled you guys together, because in the stories that I've heard, they're very not intentional.
Right.
What I mean by that is like, it wasn't like, oh, hey, I know this dope rapper, let's get him on. It was
Right.
like knowing the story of how Raffi and Skywlkr met up was like just on hanging out, you
Yeah,
know.
just hanging out. Yeah.
And then
Yep.
to hear that like Fat Ray and Bruiser Wolf were just kind of like kicking it, you know,
Yeah.
like it's like everyone just was kind of like, oh, this is my friend, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then something occurred from the friendship, not so much the like, okay, so we need to sit, we need to build a roster, we need this
Right.
type of guy. It was
Yep.
just like,
Yep.
nah, man,
Yep.
let's. And I think that's the beauty and the magic of the
Yep.
whole
Yep. What
situation.
makes it unique? Yep.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your album as well.
Okay.
You motherfuckers love an acronym, man. Like,
Yeah.
So what's NOAH, the acronym, mean?
Okay. So Noah is basically nigga on the horse. I took it from one of my favorite movies, Quentin Tarantino, which is one of the best. When on the Django, when he walked through the town on the horse for the first time, and they seen him on the horse, and it was like the attention stopped. Like, wait a minute, is that a nigga on the horse? So it's basically like that type of shit. Basically that type of energy to stop people dead in their tracks. Who is this guy? Because everybody, we got some people who've been around Bruiser from day one. I'm talking about on 30 when it was a song, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, who is this dude? Just all the way around, just who is he? Like, you know what I mean? And just the character, basically, the Django, like if you ever did Django Freeman, Ahmad Freeman, which is the first song when he released from the chains, basically. It's just, it all ties into like one of my favorite movies on earth. And just who I am as a person, if I see myself, like as I see myself in that light, being like brought to the light and freed from, the bottom dwellers of the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Man, you fucking blew my mind. Like, because now it's one of those things, like, you unlocked a lot of doors because that made the album artwork makes more sense.
Right.
And then when you brought up the line from your song, I'm like, oh, and then the album, it's like everything's popping right now where I'm like, oh, fucking, you said this and you said that. And it's like, this all makes sense.
Yep.
Because I've heard you like say the acronym out, like it's one of the lines in the songs too. So I'm like, look, it's been right there the whole time. I never like picked it up. So that shit, that's tight. Like, damn, man, I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what it is, man. And like I said, one of the best movies to me. And basically, like I said, man, that the Django character that Jamie Foxx played, like that, I basically seen myself as that, and in the movie, if you pay attention, the woman is who he was doing everything for. But I think that the woman in my universe basically is for like my art to be heard and like, to be able to be doing what I love for a living. So that's basically what I'm trying to, what I'm trying to get to at the end. So fighting all the adversities, going through the ups and downs, and you know what I'm saying, just getting there.
Yeah, man, I love it because I'm also very much a fan of like things with depth. And so I hear the depth in the album. I hear the symbol, or I see the symbolism that's described in the album. And so then to understand that there's even like greater depth to it too is just like, these aren't like, this isn't like anyone. Don't sleep on this album. It's amazing. Like,
thank you.
It hits on so many levels, and I also feel like it's very timeless. Too. Like whether you're an old head or you're into like younger rap, like the bars will keep you, the rapping beats will keep you. Like it's gonna hold tight. Like this one, I think is going to age beautifully because it's not stuck in an era. And like I was saying earlier, I think the description, the wordplay, the use of symbolism, like it's like. And I think that's why every time I keep listening to it, I pick up on something new where I was like, oh, I didn't see that before. So man, like congratulations to that. You got some real shit,
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I really do. And that's what it is. I know a lot of people wonder what the acronym was. It sounds better as Noah, but nigga on the horses with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, it's basically man, it continue like this whoever is listening, continue to listen to it. I 100% agree with you. I do feel as if it's gonna age really well. And that was my purpose with it. Like, you know, that's what it's all about. You know, just putting out the best, because, like, you know, it's not about the popcorn microwave. What I mean by that is the ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had a time, you know, had time. The time I was there nights, barely sleeping, and just put everything I could into that shit, and I continue to do that long as, you know,
not to like oversimplify it, but you could have like a simple box of like Kraft macaroni and cheese, or you could have someone's grandma's like macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
They are different things.
Yeah.
And one of them will have you coming back for more and like taking trips out and visiting and being like, hey, can you like slide me a plate? Like, whereas the other one is just like, I mean, it's fine. You know?
Cool. It's all right. It's on the plate. It's here for us.
Yeah.
But do you value it? Do you like you said, do you make those trips? Do you go, you know what I mean? Does it give you
seek it out? Do you want, like, you desire it?
Yeah. Does it give you a certain taste? Does it hit the taste buds a certain way?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, definitely.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, this album definitely hits that for me. And then, you know, I want to also shout out, like, man, okay, so you just dropped a new video too on Bounty.
Yeah. We
love that video. That video is ill.
I think that actually, bro, I actually think that's my favorite video of so far that I've done off the album. And that's also one of my favorite songs. I don't really have like favorite songs, but I really love that song. That's like one of my favorites. And I always like I always like performing that song because it's kind of get them, you know, kind of get them hyping.
Yeah.
Shit like that. But yeah, I love that video. Shout out to Sid Fitch. He did the video on that one. And it's basically like we discussed like a treatment and everything, but how he shot it was just beautiful. And I can't take credit for how he shot it, the angles and the camera, you know, how he actually brought that vision to life. So shout out to Sid. You know, we definitely doing some more work. And let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
As somebody who listens to my album, what video would you like to see next, if you could say?
Ooh, video I'd like to see next. You know what? I'm really like, my other song I listen to a lot that I like is Conch Burns.
Yeah. Okay.
The aggressiveness to it is like, like I said earlier, like, this album makes me like want to do bad things. You know,
right,
so it's like, this is that album that I'm just like, I want it to be like black and white, like classic whip, driving down the street late at night. I should not be in this neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
But it's like, it's got a vibe to it, you know. But it's just like, you know, I want to go back to like the progression too. Like, I really like the FTP video because it's raw. It's like, this is three dudes fucking kicking it. You know, and so it's you, Fat Ray, JUS doing your thing. Everyone's like highlighted, and it's like, you guys are like in a fucking like a garden, or not a garden.
It's like a
I don't know the name of what they're called.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But and shout out to Black Noise. Black Noise shot that one.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, Black Noise shot that one. That's my guy. And I just like, sometimes I really just like, I trust Black Noise. I trust him. So I said, bro, I'm following your lead, man. Just whatever you want to do. And we just was hanging out, and it just was like on some random shit, and it was like boom, and we did it. And so
it was so classic. It's just like, it's you guys in front of like the two cars, and just like, it was clean. It was just bars. It was just like, here we are, like, we're doing their thing. But when this latest video dropped, it was like very eye-opening, because it went from like I said, FTP was just, it was raw. It was like single shot, whereas this one was very like artistic. It was crisp, you know, the black and white contrast. And then you had the guy with like the like jiu-jitsu karate going in the back. Like, everything was like, oh, this is different. This is saying something, you know?
And I like, me, like, listening as a fan of music or as someone who appreciates an artist and their development, that's one of the things I like to see. I like to see the progression. Yeah. It almost feel like, you ever had like, I got this thing, man. I mean, it don't matter what artist, like, it don't matter what artist you bring out. Like, if I really enjoy their music, I know what songs is going to be the popular songs, right? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. It's like, so I say that to say, like, you kind of invest in the artist and seeing their growth. Like, oh man, I appreciate that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what it's about. You just want to continue to keep being better and getting better. And I think I did that with each video, whether, we did the FTP, then Wolf and I did the Swamp Water.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yep. And then you got this, the bounties. So then when we do conch burns, it got to be a level higher. Or I was really leaning towards like Corpus, because that's a lot of people's favorite song. And I love the whole album, so I'm biased to every song. You know what I mean?
You're hard pressed, because I think anyone that's next is gonna be like, yeah, this makes sense. Because in the 3 videos you just mentioned too, they are very different tracks. You like, anyone going back, go to YouTube, watch the videos for FTP, for Bounties, and what's the one with Bruiser Wolf?
Swamp Water.
And you're gonna get like that sort of sampler platter of like Quentin Ahmad DaGod. Like, you're gonna be like, oh, these are the different voices they talked about, the different styles, the different flows, and then how like Bounties is just Quentin himself, whereas the other ones have other artists, but you can see how he plays with them. It's like, so anyone listening, like, go check those out. They're good.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, this man knows his shit, man. He definitely does the homework, and he definitely listens, and he's not just, so I appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's just I can't keep saying it. I appreciate that, and that means a lot, because listen, man, it doesn't matter how many, as long as you got motherfuckers who appreciate and listen, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, and for me, it's just like, it's always respecting the art too. Like, knowing that it isn't, there's a lot of process that goes in from just a concept, just half a bar, to like a full song, to then an album, like that's a lot of work that goes in there. That's a lot of thought, a lot of process, a lot of mental anguish too. Because I know you're questioning yourself. I know you're working through being like, did I hit that hard enough? Is the beat right?
Exactly.
Like, it's a lot of minutia to work through. And so when you guys put something quality like this, it's like, I gotta pay respect. Like, it's just it's an awesome thing. And that's where I reach out to you guys too, where I'm just like, I love the album. This album hits. This shit is hard. Like, it's because it's like, I think something you've been touching on, and something I really believe in, is like, I believe in investing in people. Like, because all it takes is a simple, like, man, you know what, this is good work. And that goes a long way. Because a lot of times we live in a very negative society, a negative environment where it's like, this shit's terrible, that shit's whack, you're no good. Like, no, but just from time to time to be like, listen to this, you will enjoy it.
right. It actually feel good, because you got to comb through a lot of that bullshit. And it ain't that you want to call X, whatever it is, whack, or say it's bullshit. It's just that's what it is. You know what I mean? And so when you do you come across some quality and is palatable, you be like, damn, man, yo, this is what's up. And you gotta rock with it. You gotta go with it. You know what I mean?
No,
you basically going against yourself.
Now, before I let you go, because I know you're gonna be heading to the studio soon, probably cooking up something real nice. Tell the people like where they can find you, where they can find the music, what to look forward to. Okay.
So I'm on Twitter as DaGod, DaGodAhmad. DaGod Ahmad. And on Instagram, I'm on there as DaGod Ahmad as well, DaGodAhmad, pardon me. You can find the music on, we have Bandcamp still. So if you want to go there and donate to any of our albums or whatever we got going on, we got stuff coming up on Bandcamp real soon. And then you can go on your other platforms and listen to them as well, whether it's the iTunes, you know, all the other platforms, Spotify, wherever, and you just type it in, Quentin, Quentin Ahmad DaGod.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Yep.
Follow all, download all, and especially on the Bandcamp, because Bandcamp has brought back the Artist Fridays.
Yeah.
Like, cop it on the Friday because that goes straight to the artist. And if you want to hear like
Fridays,
you want to keep promoting the artist, keep their ideas fresh and going, and like it's always good. I'll tell you guys, I have purchased all the albums, not just streaming them. Like I've put my money in because again, it's like if this is the least I can do is give you some cash for it, like then you don't know how many times I'm playing this album. Like
right.
I'm scamming you.
Right. Say I'm still for you. Right. No, but we appreciate that. Like, and that's what listen, we all appreciate just take the time to listen to it, man. And I recommend if if you've listened to the previous albums, just listen to them. Don't skip through them. Just listen to them all, number 1 through number 10. We all telling our own story in the multiverse of the Bruiser, and it is like the Avengers. So, we appreciate everybody who takes the time, and if you have it, listen to that shit. You wilding the fuck out. You wilding.
Yeah, definitely.
You wilding out.
Yeah, well, Quentin Ahmad DaGod, man, I appreciate you so much for taking time out of your evening to sit with me. I wish you much success. I can't wait for the future projects from you and from the rest of the Bruiser Brigade. Man, I wish you nothing but success. So again, thank you for joining me this evening. So I'm Chaufie. We got Quentin Ahmad DaGod. We out of here. Peace.
We out of here.
What did you say, Grandma? Mama.
What?
What did you say?
Grandma's not here.